I've been a 911 dispatcher for 12 years, the last 7 on the graveyard shift. You think you've heard it all after that long, the drunks, the domestics, the panicked fumbling for words after a car crash. It all becomes a kind of white noise, a rhythm of human misery you learn to navigate without letting it touch you. You have to. It's the only way to stay sane. My district is a sprawling, sleepy county that dies after 10 p.m. It's mostly soccer moms and retirees. The worst we usually get on a weeknight is a noise complaint or a teenager who's had too much to drink at a bonfire. The job, for me, had become a cycle of caffeine, fluorescent lights, and the low, constant hum of computer servers. I was burned out, deeply, existentially tired in a way sleep couldn't fix. The calls were just blips on a screen, voices to be processed, categorized, and dispatched. I was a human switchboard for other people's worst days. The first call came on a Tuesday, about 3 months ago. It was 2:47 a.m., the deadest hour of the deadest night. The line lit up on my console, but not in the usual way. It wasn't a cell call with a GPS ping, or a landline with a registered address. It was just a raw signal, designated as unregistered VoIP. Not unheard of, but rare. I clicked it open. 911, what is your emergency? Static. A thick, wet sound, like listening to the radio underwater. It crackled and popped, and underneath it I could just barely make out a sound. A whisper. Hello? Can you hear me? It was a child's voice. A boy, I thought, maybe 7 or 8. He sounded like he was trying to talk without moving his lips. This is 911, I repeated, my voice a little louder, a little clearer. I can barely hear you. What is your emergency? The static swelled, almost swallowing his voice whole. He's back. The man in the mask is back. A chill, cold and sharp, went down my spine. It was a professional chill, the one that tells you this is real. This isn't a prank. Okay, son. Where are you? I need an address. Hurting mommy, the whisper came again, breaking with a sob. The static sounded like a swarm of angry insects now. Daddy's asleep on the floor, he won't wake up. Son, I need you to tell me where you are. I can't send help if I don't know where you are. My fingers flew across the keyboard, trying to get a trace, but the system kicked back errors. No location data. No subscriber info. Nothing. The old house, he whispered, his voice fading. At the end of the road, please. Then the line went dead. Not a click. Not a hang-up. It just ceased to exist. One moment it was there, a line of static and terror, and the next it was just a dead channel. Even without an address, the old house at the end of the road was enough. Out on the western edge of the county, there's a long, unpaved road that just sort of peters out into the woods. And at the end of it, there's one house, a big, derelict Victorian that's been empty for as long as anyone can remember. It was a local legend, the kind of place kids dared each other to spend a night in. I dispatched a patrol car. My senior officer, a guy who'd been on the force since before I was born, came back over the radio about 15 minutes later. His voice was flat, laced with the kind of annoyance reserved for rookies and time-wasters. Dispatch, car 12 here. The property is secure. No signs of forced entry. Place is boarded up tighter than a drum. There's nobody here. Hasn't been for 50 years by the looks of it. 10 to 4, car 12, I said, my own voice betraying none of my confusion. Are you sure? The caller was a child. He said his family was being attacked. There was a sigh over the radio. Listen, the dust on the porch is an inch thick. The boards on the windows are gray and rotted. If someone's in there, they're a ghost. We're clearing the call. Tell whoever's playing games to knock it off. I logged it as unfounded and tried to put it out of my mind. A prank. A sophisticated one, maybe, using some kind of voice changer and a VoIP spoofer. Kids these days. I was too tired to care. A week later, at 2:47 a.m., the same line lit up. The same static. The same terrified, whispering voice. He's in the house. I can hear him walking. This time, a knot of ice formed in my stomach. Son, is this the same caller from last week? A choked sob. He has the mask on. The one with the scary smile. Mommy's screaming. Faintly, through the storm of static, I thought I could hear it, a woman's scream, high and thin and distorted, like a sound being played backward. I'm sending help, I said, my voice tight. Stay on the line with me. Can you hide? In the closet, he whispered. He's coming up the stairs. I can hear his feet. The line went dead. I dispatched 2 cars this time. I told them it was a repeat call, possibly a hostage situation. I didn't want them to be complacent. They took it seriously. They set up a perimeter. They used a bullhorn. They broke down the front door. The result was the same. An empty house. Thick, undisturbed layers of dust on every surface. Rotted floorboards. Peeling wallpaper. The smell of decay and forgotten things. No footprints. No child. No man in a mask. No sign that a human being had set foot in that house in decades.